Hello folks, this is Sula speaking. You're listening to another video for Teamfight Tactics. So this is taken from another ranked game. It is getting closer to the end of set 7.5, and that means that I'm going to be playing a few more ranked games. Just want to, at the very minimum, get back to diamond rating, and we'll go from there. In this game, we're going to look again at team composition that I played in, I think, the last video that I posted on Teamfight Tactics. That is the team comp that features Seraphine and Graves. But this time we're going to be focusing on a different unit. Instead of emphasizing Seraphine, we're going to emphasize the Graves portion of the team composition instead. And trust me, this game's going to play out a little bit differently than the last time that I put one of these team combinations up on YouTube. So I've been playing this team composition a little bit more. I really had not played it much until this past week. But it does seem to be a pretty strong team comp based on both the data and my own experience running it. Still not contested too much, although I have seen it slightly going up in popularity. I suspect that as people get more of a sense of how strong the team comp is, more people are going to start running it in the lobbies. So quite good, still not too contested, makes a good comp to play while trying to climb if you're playing ranked games, and that's kind of the point, is you want to do well, move up the ladder in each game. We also did have a B patch. This game was played on the day that the B patch came out. Didn't make too many changes. The biggest change that it made is that it nerfed Kaisa and it nerfed the Dragonmancer trait. So that's probably still playable, but no longer as much of a hard force as it was previously in the earlier versions of in the first half of this patch before the B patch came out. Anyway, so as I said, I am looking to try to play towards the Seraphine comp. That's why I've grabbed Guardian Frontline here, Nasus and Leona, and then I've grabbed a Senna who can be an item holder for Graves later on. But I'm hoping that I can find some of the units that make up this team composition. As far as items, I've gotten a rod and a rod and a tier and a bow. So I kind of have part of what I'd like to run, but not really. I have like half of Morello's. I have half of a Spear of Shojin for Seraphine. And then I have the bow, which is like not quite what I'm looking for. I'm going to go ahead and take Better Together here. Aura items that buff your team have their effects increased by 33%. The general perception is that this is a very strong augment to take when you're running the Seraphine and Graves team, but it's not for the Locket. The general perception is it's very strong because it makes the Zeke's Herald stronger, and that's an item that you typically would want to build in this team composition. Generally, people want to itemize Seraphine with Morello's plus Spear of Shojin. Those are kind of her two best items. And then in addition to that, you would also want to get kind of melee AD items on Graves. So he makes really good use of Hand of Justice, Titan's Resolve, Bloodthirster. He's okay with Quicksilver Sash as well. Edge of Night is quite good on him for the aggression drop, all that sort of things. So those are kind of the things you're looking for. Seraphine has her Morello's Shojin itemization. Graves has kind of melee AD items. And then if you have leftover items, well, frontline items can always be put on one of the frontline tanks. But then you also would like to make Zeke's and get as many Zeke's as possible. Ideally, you get triple Zeke's, put them on Zeri, and then Zeri's going to give attack speed to Graves. So that's the reason why this augment is seen as being quite good, is because it will buff up the value of Zeke's on your units. Unfortunately, right now, I'm still planning on going into this comp. I am forcing it a little bit to some extent. The big problem is I am not really hitting the units that go into this comp. I have found a couple Zyras, so I will hold on to them. And the Mirage trait in this game is Pirate's Mirage. So I will just I'm playing the Leona plus the Yone to try to give myself a little bit of extra income here. But honestly, I don't really have much of anything here. I kind of just have the Locket, and then that's it. I have like a random 2-star Talia. But where are my other Lagoon units? I don't have any other Lagoon units whatsoever. Like, I have a Malphite on my bench who I'm not going to play while I'm running Guardian frontline. If I need to convert to Bruiser frontline, I could put him in. Or if I just need +1 Lagoon unit, I could put him in. But still, this is not really what I'm looking for. And I kind of have a good augment for this team composition, but I really don't have the units to play this team composition. I don't have any Seraphines. I don't have any Zeris. I don't have a Rakan. I don't have a Zac. I would definitely like to get Zac in. Well, yeah, I'm kind of missing a lot of the units you'd want to play towards this. All right, now this is a close fight here against someone who's playing a guild board. I actually want to lose this fight. I'm kind of hoping I will narrowly lose this, but no. I end up winning, and it would have been better for me to lose that because I lost the first round, and I'm pretty sure that my board is not strong enough to win streak here. So, yeah, I kind of would have liked a very close loss. I think that would have been quite good there. But no, I don't get it. I just barely clutch out a win, but maybe the 2 HP I would have preserved will make a difference in the long run. Spoiler alert, it does not. So yes, a loss would have been better there. I'd much rather be on 94 HP right now than where I am at the moment. All right, so I did make a 2-star Zyra. Unfortunately, I can't put Zyra on the board right now. I do kind of need all the units that are on the board in there right now. I guess I could replace the Talia. That might be a slight improvement, but about the same. I don't think that would make much of a difference. I definitely need Leona and Braum in there for the Guardian. I want that tankiness. I want Yone in there because I want the pirate trait to, well, Mirage Pirates to feed me a little bit of extra income. And then it's like Talia versus Zyra. Just take your pick. Not a huge difference between them. All right, well, this is going to be a close fight as well, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to lose this one. I don't think I can kill all of these units. It's going to be close, but Yone did get targeted on my side. I don't think Talia can kill this many units, but considering my lack of 2 stars, that's honestly pretty good that I killed all but 1 unit. Still, I could be on a perfect 3-loss streak. I could be on 92 HP 3-loss streak, and I would probably get 2nd pick instead of 3rd pick on the carousel. So yeah, would have been nice to lose that round, but I can't control what happens in all of the fights. Well, as far as items, I'm looking to try to complete some of the items that I have here. I would not mind getting a sword for Spear of Shojin. That would be more useful right now on the Talia, but that is not an option. So I will go ahead and take this belt. That can be used to make a Morello's, and I'll just put that on Talia. Of course, I do have the rod on Yone right now, so that's going to have to come off Yone, but I have a replacement Yone, so that's okay. Unfortunately, it means I'm probably not going to hit Yone 2-star anytime soon, but Yone is not really in there for damage. Yone is basically in the team composition so that I can get the Pirate's Mirage. I guess I do need his damage, but he's still not one of the key units I have in there right now. So we're going to make the Morellos, and Talia can hold items for Seraphine. I'm hoping she'll show up, hoping she will show up sooner rather than later. And we are finally now getting full Locket value now that we have 5 units on the board. So the Locket will put that shield on 5 units. They all have to stand next to each other, which is a little bit awkward. But I have fortunately hit a 2-star Leona, so I will get the slightly higher benefit from the Locket. I believe the base value is 350 at 1-star and 375 at 2-star. And then my augment means I get like another 33% increase. So I think it's like a 500 health shield at the start of the fight. Now, granted, this is not going to scale very well into the late game. That's the thing about Locket. It's a very strong early game item, falls off as the game goes on. But, you know, if I can get like a couple of Zeeks, maybe a Chalice, then, you know, I will continue to get good value for my augment into the late game. And if it allows me to win streak a little bit here, that's not terrible either. Still, I would have liked to have gone loss, 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 and then win, win. That would kind of be the ideal outcome. But as you said, I had that very narrow win, which was just won by like the tiniest of margins. All right, anyway, I'm looking at these different boards right now and trying to see. It doesn't look at the moment like anyone is playing into the Seraphine and Graves comp. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. I do wish I had hit some more of the units that are played in this comp. Right now, the only unit that's played in this comp that I have on my board is Zyra. This is one thing that you get better at as you've played more Teamfight Tactics over the years. I guess I've been playing this game for almost, I guess, about 3 years now. This is set to 3 years this game's been out. But you get better at kind of playing your way into team compositions when you're not hitting the units because you have to play something. You can't just run a completely empty board. And I was actually reasonably pleased with how the board that I put together here on stage 2. Considering that the comp I was trying to play, I literally was missing like every single unit possible except Zyra. So anyway, this is a pretty close fight. The Gnar with the Sunfire Cape is going to be a little bit tricky to overcome, but once that unit goes down, there's basically nothing left. A 1-star Karma with no items is not going to do anything. So I'm going to win that, and nice. Fortunately, that does get me up to 20 gold. So even though I was not able to get on a big win or loss streak, I was able to get to 20 gold. And then we're going to get 2 gold from the Pirate chest. Thank you very much. Pirates has already fed me about 5 extra gold, which is pretty significant. That's why a number of people are running Mirage straight here in the early game, just for Pirates income. There is also a Zyra in the store here, and I was like, do I pick up this Zyra? I was like, I guess so. Since I already have 4 of them, we might as well try to go for 3-star Zyra. I guess so. I wasn't really planning on it. Zyra's not a particularly key unit in this team composition, but you know what? Why not? But you know, this is still early in the game. And look, then another one pops out of the minion orb as well. I was like, all right, doesn't even cost us gold to hold these units at the moment, so we might as well. Unfortunately, that is going to be a Volibear. I was like, why couldn't you have been a Seraphine or a Rakan or a Zeri, one of the 3 costs I'm actually playing? And then I'm going to get this bow plus, what is it, this bow plus vest combo. And I was like, well, that can be Titan's Resolve for Graves. That's not bad. And then look at this. I get 2 Sennas in my store. So I was like, all right, well, Senna 2-star. You know, we are on a modest 2-match win streak. Might as well go ahead and level to 6 here to see if we can preserve that win streak. I will still be above 20 gold. Usually I prefer to not drop below 20 gold if possible. And, you know, I wouldn't say Titans is a good item on Senna, but we might as well put it on her. She can hold the item for Graves. Ideally, we'll find Zeri relatively soon. And then maybe we get lucky and hit a 5% odds Graves, and then I ideally would play the Zeri plus the Graves, and that'll get Graves into the team composition. Instead, though, I'm up against this person, and they are running a very tanky board. They actually have 4 Guardians, and they're running Electro. They have the Electrocute. And then look at this. The Zeri goes down to, like, literally 1% HP, but does not quite die. Now, that said, most of the damage that my team is taking is not coming from Zeri. It's coming from the Electrocute. But, yeah, it would have been nice if we had just one-shotted that unit. I think that we still probably lose this fight. But, yeah, I think if I had popped the Zeri right away, maybe we could have won this. Instead, nope. This is very sad. Look at how close this is. But, nope, another Guardian Shield procs. Senna does a decent amount of damage, but she doesn't do that much damage. Can she kill one more? Yes, she got the Zac, but nope, the Electrocute damage going to reflect and kill her in this fight. So I was like, kind of wanted my win streak to continue there, but it doesn't end up happening. Now, out of these options, it's definitely not Pandora's Bench. It's definitely not Knife's Edge. I don't want to reroll a Silver Augment, so I guess it's going to have to be Tiny Titans. So that is nice in the sense that it's going to give me 30 extra health. It's not so nice in the sense that now I'm going to get last pick on every carousel going forward. But I didn't like either of the other picks, and I don't think either one would have been a good fit for what I'm running. And as I said, I did not want to use my reroll on a Silver Augment. In any case, now we've got a little time here, so because there's not much going on at present in the game, I'm just looking to econ up to level 7 and then look to find Seraphine and all the other units that I play in this comp. Let me talk a little bit more about kind of theory crafting this team composition. As I said, I did a video on this earlier when I hadn't played as many games. I've now played maybe like close to almost 10 games running this comp, and I do have a little bit better sense of kind of how it's put together. I have kept referring to it as a Seraphine comp, but that's not exactly right. It's not really a Seraphine comp so much as it is a Graves comp. And that's one of the conclusions that I've kind of come to over time is, yeah, it's not really a Seraphine comp, although she is a very important unit in it. It's really what it is it's a Graves team composition. And basically, this is just the best comp that makes good use of Graves' abilities in this game. By the way, this fight's really sad. I actually have a Morellos for the Swain, but just don't have enough damage. I can't kill the Swain, so I'm going to die and not kill anything in this fight, which is pretty sad. Anyway, as I was saying, though, so it's really not Seraphine. It's a Graves team composition. And Graves is kind of a weird unit because he doesn't really care about his traits much at all. Like, you look at Graves' traits. What are his traits? Tempest plus Cannoneer. Well, he doesn't really care about Cannoneer. All of the key Graves boards don't really build heavily into Cannoneer. And he doesn't really care about Tempest either. I mean, I suppose you can play him together with Ao Shin, but like they don't really have any synergy. He doesn't really fit with Lee Sin in like a Dragonmancer's board. He doesn't really fit with Kiana in an Assassin's board. Like he doesn't really fit with the other Tempest units at all. So he really doesn't care about his traits. And that means you got to be thinking, well, Graves is a 4-cost unit. You know, 4-cost units typically the main carries in Teamfight Tactics. Well, what other unit, like what board then takes good advantage of Graves' strengths? And it turns out that he actually does best when he's played with Seraphine. By the way, look at what this person has over here. They have the scoped weapons, that's +1 range on the Yone. Then they also got a rapid fire cannon, so Yone now has 3 range, and he has a Deathblade, and he has a Hand of Justice, and he has Thrill of the Hunt. I was like, oh my god, this person's board is so strong. We're never going to kill anything on that board. So just like got this super tanky front line, and then this unbelievably strong Yone with +2 range, and a Deathblade and a Hand of Justice. It's like, oh my god. Well, that person probably wins the lobby. At the very least, they're going to be ungodly rich, and I don't see how anyone's going to stop them anytime soon. All right, well, we do have another carousel here. So, as I said, I kind of now have items that would be good on Seraphine. I would not mind the sword so that I could try to take a Spiro Shojin, that gets taken. So out of the options remaining, I would like to get something out of this tier. And I was like, oh, well, you know what I can do? I can take the glove and make Hand of Justice. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that. So that is the potential to make Hodge. I will hold the glove on my bench, but Hand of Justice is a good Graves item. So I already have that possibility of making that item and putting it on that unit. Anyway, we're still econing here. So as I said, Graves does not care about his traits. So if you're building a Graves comp, then what do you do to make him stronger? Well, basically you surround him with lots of utility units, and that's kind of what makes him work. And that's really what the Seraphine team comp is it's a bunch of utility units that allow Graves to pop off. And by the way, look at that person right there. They actually have picked up a Graves. So this was like, oh, I think this person might actually be going for the same team comp that I'm going for. Just because they do have, they do have, they have a Graves and they have a Zeri, so they're presumably going towards this as well. The good news is this person's kind of dying, and they've taken late game Specialist. They also have Ludens, which is not a particularly good augment if you're going for this team composition. Now, that's not going to be enough for me to win this round, but I do think that there are some problems in terms of how they're putting this team composition together. I mean, this is a close fight, but it looks like it's going to be a loss. Can you kill one more, Talia? Does not look like she's going to be able to kill one more. If she had Spirit Shojin, I probably would actually have won that round. Getting back to my point that keeps getting interrupted. Oh, we finally now have found Seraphine, so that's nice. I will go ahead, well, I'll get back to the point in a second. Since it's only 12 gold to level, I will look to go ahead and level here. So we want to put Zac in, and we want to get Lagoon trait in play as well. So I'll level and put in Seraphine. So now we finally are getting closer to what I want to run. I also do need to reposition a little bit so I can get more locket value. I'm looking forward to getting this item off of Leona. She's not really the right person to have this locket on, but we can figure it out. We can figure out the positioning in a little bit. So I am able to get Lagoon board on here, but this person's board looks pretty strong too. I was like, ooh, this person already has Siphon. I guess they're going for the Shiou plus Siphon team composition. I don't know if I can actually kill that Siphon. At least I do have Morello's to cut into the healing somewhat, but I still don't really have a good carry. It's kind of the problem right here is Senna just does not do enough damage right now. And oh, Senna, why? Why are you shooting at the Karma in the back row? Kill something closer to you. So yeah, I lose that round. I've actually lost all 5 rounds here in stage 3. I was like, ooh, that is not what I was looking for. I did not think my board was that weak, but apparently it was. And I think the real issue is I just didn't have enough damage in my team comp. It was reasonably tanky, but just, again, not enough damage. So loss, 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 loss. Yeesh. That's, it's not what you want. It's not what you're looking for. So obviously, the only thing that really happened there was I was able to basically trade my silver augment there, Tiny Titans. I basically traded that for a loss streak throughout stage 3. Again, not what I was really looking for, but that's kind of what ended up happening. So now I 100% have to roll here on stage, at the beginning of stage 4, here on level 7. I need to stabilize my board. This is, I mean, if I was losing throughout stage 3, if I don't get stronger, I'm definitely going to lose stage 4. That's not even close. But I do get a bit of luck there. I get a Pantheon in the store, and then, or Pantheon from the minion drop, and then I actually get a Graves in the store. So I was like, oh, okay, this is pretty good. Now I can get the core of this team comp together. So now I can go ahead and look to make these items. I was like, do I want to make a Chalice? Remember, that does give me a lot of benefit, but then I was like, wait, no, I want to make Hand of Justice on Graves. That's a higher priority. So let's go ahead and do that. Now I've got most of my board here. I'm still missing a Rakan, and I don't know if this positioning is quite right, but like my units are all 1-stars. I need to roll and look to 2-star some of these. So I'm actually going to hit quite a few units there. Actually, I'm going to hit Pantheon 2-star really early. And then I actually get a, what did I get this tier? Oh, I think I had one more item from the minion round that I hadn't picked up yet. So that can then be a Chalice, which actually looks pretty good. Again, I probably would not make a Chalice this quickly here, but I might as well make it because I've got, again, the augment that buffs aura items, so a Chalice will be stronger. Anyway, my board has definitely gotten stronger, and it's going to be stronger still once I actually make the Pantheon 2-star next round. So I was pretty sure I was going to win this round against this Twitch player, but Twitch has got Thrill of the Hunt. I was like, oh, he's not really going to throw. Is he going to throw at me here? And yep, okay, 77 stacks on that Rage Blade. Oh boy. Okay, well, I mean, it's not a bad loss, and it does actually feed me more money because I'm on such a big loss streak. All right, well, the last augment's a silver augment as well. That's not terrible. I actually have 2 good choices here, Cybernetic Uplink and Evoker Heart. I was actually planning on taking Cybernetic Uplink, which I think is a better augment, but I clicked on the Evoker Heart, and I don't think that that's terrible. It does give me another Zyra, so it actually gets me to 6 Zyras, which is you know, that's not nothing to get up to the 6 Zyras. And now I definitely need to roll a little bit more. Again, I just would like to 2-star Seraphine. I do finally find Rakan, so let's get Rakan into the board. And now we can shift the locket over to someone else. I'll put it on the Pantheon for right now. I don't know if this positioning's quite right, though. Still trying to figure out how do I position here. There's another Rakan. I'm going to keep rolling. There's another Zyra. I'm actually on 7 Zyras now. And I just keep looking. There's another Graves. Again, I'm trying to find 2-star Seraphine. If I could hit 2-star Seraphine, then I would be content to stop here. Obviously, if I could hit 2-star Graves, that would be even better. But I'm not really expecting to hit another Graves. So anyway, I continue rolling here. And, you know, I'm up against, who is it? I'm up against the Darkflight player. And I actually thought that I was, my board had gotten pretty strong, but no, it actually turns out that this round's not going very well either. And I was like, oh my god, another bit. I've lost 7 rounds in a row? Oh my god. I was actually feeling pretty good about this game, but man, 7 losses in a row. I'm glad I took Tiny Titans. I'd be on 30 HP without this. Although, of course, maybe I could have gotten a combat augment that would have helped me. But still, geez, I really did not feel like my board was that weak. But obviously, I need to keep rolling here because I'm just losing every round here. We are going to hit Rakan. I also had 2 stars or 8 Zyras. So, all right, now we want to roll a little bit more. Can we hit the 2-star Seraphine? I'm going to hit a Bard. That's a really big deal. That's a unit I want to play at level when I level up. But I need to wait. And there we go. I finally hit the Seraphine. So I'm going to go ahead and stop here now. Now the goal is get to level 8 and play the Bard, because Bard will give me 3 Mystic, and that actually is going to be quite nice. But so I've managed to 2-star pretty much my whole board, everything except Graves and Zac. I can't really expect a 2-star Graves. So now that my board's 2-starred, I think that I can look to try to go to level 8. I don't think I can get there until the end of stage 4, but it was 100% the right decision to keep rolling there. You saw my board was not strong enough. I needed to stabilize. I do think I was hitting some of the stronger comps in the lobby there, and I do think I was maybe slightly unlucky in terms of how some of those fights played out. You can see I easily tear through this board. It's not even remotely close. But I had to keep rolling there. I had to get stronger. My board was not strong enough. So now we look to go to Econ for a bit, go to level 8, and we'll see if we can hit 2-star Graves there and then go from there. I don't think that I'm going to win the lobby at this point. What I'm trying to do is just trying to top 4. That person, Swepty NA, who's got the Yone, I'm pretty confident that they're going to win the lobby. I think that they are extremely strong, and I don't see any easy way to deal with their comp. All right, in any case, I wanted to take the sword, but the sword is gone. And out of these other options here remaining, I'm going to take the glove because I have a leftover glove, and that'll just allow me to thief glove somebody. And that's probably the best thing that I could do with this. I mean, I could try to get a rod and make, like, a jeweled gauntlet on Seraphine. I guess I could try to take, like, a sword and try to make Infinity Edge on Graves, but I think it makes more sense just to do this. And, oh, hey, look at that, 3-star Zyra. Okay, that's pretty good. And that's going to open up some nice opportunities for making use of this unit. Now she's like a semi-carry in her own right. So I'm going to look to shift around a little bit here. I'm going to look to put Pantheon in the back row. Unfortunately, the problem is I can't really get the Locket and the Chalice on the same units at the same time. So I really would like to get that Locket off of Pantheon long term and try to put it on probably on Zyra because she's 3-starred and you get higher value on the Locket if it's on a 3-star unit. So I have to try to get that item off of Pantheon long term. But remember, you do actually get an item remover from the Lagoon Seashell if it goes on long enough. Now I believe that that's like 200 stacks or something, but if the game goes on long enough, maybe I can look to do that. All right, well, in any case, we are up against this person's... Oh, so this is the other person who's trying to play into a version of this comp. They actually have hit 2-star Graves, but Graves is not itemized very well at all. Has a Goldmancer staff, which is not an item he wants. And I think they're trying to get to level 9 to make use of late game specialists, but it doesn't look like they're going to get there because they're down to 2 HP. And I actually would really like that person to be out of the lobby because they're holding 3 Graves. And they actually have several different units that I'm playing in my team comp. So definitely get them out of the lobby. I don't want to see them anymore. Definitely don't want to see that unit. Okay. So after I was able to 2-star most of my board, things did start getting a bit better. As I said, I lost 7 rounds in a row, but at least I did get a lot of money off of that. And now that everything's 2-starred except Graves, feeling pretty good here, at least better. I think I beat everybody except Swepty, that person who does have Future Sight, by the way. So I had to be careful about them placing the Zephyr. Am I up against them? I was like, oh, I am up against them. I did not think I was going to be up against them. And they're going to look to Zephyr out the Zeri. I think that's part of the reason why I didn't think I was going to be up against them, because their Zephyr was in such a weird spot. But, like, look at this board. They now have 3-star Yone. 3-star Yone with Deathblade, Hand of Justice, and the, rapid fire cannon along with scoped weapons, so he has 3 range. This unit is completely out of control. I was like, we cannot kill this unit. Maybe if we scale up, maybe 2-star Graves is a chance, but that person has got to be so rich. They should just be going to level 9 right now and looking to play Yasuo. I honestly think that the play was definitely to roll for 3-star Yone, but then they should just be looking to fast 9 as soon as possible and move into higher tier units. All right, well, look at this. Oh, ho, ho. We've got Death Dance. We've got a tier. Yes, please. We've got some extra gold. I will take this in an instant. So Death Dance, really, really, really good item on any melee carry, which means it's going to be fantastic on Graves. I also get an item remover, and here I'm going to get tremendous value on that item remover. I can get it off Pantheon and put it on Zyra, who is a much better person to hold this. Not only do we get more locket value, it also makes it easier to place my team positioning. So now I can put Graves next to Zyra, and then I can look to put Seraphine next to Zyra as well, so they'll both get the Chalice benefit. We're going to go ahead and level to 8, and we're going to go and play the Bard. And that's going to be nice as well. This is actually fairly early to have Bard in your team composition. He's going to give me 3 Mystic, and he's also going to increase the odds to see those 3 cost, 4 cost, and 5 cost units, which is great because I don't care about any of the 1 and 2 cost units anymore. And now I'm going to roll, and I'm really looking for Graves 2-star. I'm like, come on. No, I'm not going to hit Graves 2-star. So I'm at a gold. Now we're kind of at the point in time in the game where it's like, you got to put your cards on the table. Is your team good enough? It's stage 5. If you're not able to win rounds at this point, then you're going to be out of the game real quick. So I was like, yeah, is my team good enough? I guess we're about to find out here. So let's see what happens. I think my team's pretty good, except for the 1-star Graves. That's the one thing. If I can get 2-star Graves, I think I can actually beat most of the boards in the lobby. The Zyra is really strong. The Seraphine is giving Morellos to most of the team. I've got Bard. I've got 3 Mystic in. I've got 3 Evoker in. I'm slowly getting stuff from the Lagoon Seashell. Very late in the game for me to be getting anything from the Lagoon Seashell, but that's okay. I'm not really playing Lagoon for the stuff that comes out of it. I'm just playing it because I want Seraphine, Zeri, and Zac on my board. So yeah, we're going to be able to win this round. And this person, kind of out of nowhere, I just realized is playing the Seraphine comp. Look at it, they have 8 Seraphines and 8 Zeris right now. So I was like, oh, that's bad. I don't want that person to hit. I guess I don't have much chance to hit Seraphine 3-star in this lobby. That seems unlikely. So I just go ahead and sell the Seraphine. I know it makes it easier for them to hit, but I actually valued having 2-star Graves in for this fight. Might seem like kind of a weird thing to say, but I valued having Graves in just for this fight because we're that close to the end of the game. Value that over having another Seraphine, having 4 Seraphines and not being close to 3-star Seraphine. All right, so one of the teams I can be up against is this Darkflight board. So I do want to position in the corner for that particular board. Now, it looks like instead we've got a Guild plus Mirage board. This is something that was strong in the previous patch, but is not strong anymore. Also, it is Pirates Mirage, so remember, no in-combat ability whatsoever for playing the Mirage units. So this looks a little bit close at first, but then it very closely gets not close in a hurry. And Graves, now that he's 2-starred, just absolutely tears right through these units. So we win this very easily and do, I don't know, almost 20 damage to that team. So yeah, I was like, all right, now I'm starting to feel better. Now I think my board is online. So as I was saying before, this is really a Graves comp, and basically you're just playing all the traits that are going to get Graves to pop off. It's Graves and like a whole bunch of utility stuff. So like, what do we have on the board? We have 3 Mystic, so that's going to give him extra magic resistance. We have Seraphine putting the shield on him constantly. Now, he will dash around in the fight, so sometimes he's out of Seraphine's range, but ideally he's close enough to Seraphine that he keeps getting the shield from Seraphine, and he also keeps getting the additional magic damage on hit. And if you have Morellos like I do, then he's applying Morellos on his auto attacks as well. The other items that you want on him, as I said, I've got Titans, so that's going to give him a stacking benefit over the course of the fight. Again, here I'm trying to dodge Zephyrs because I think I'm going to be up against a Future Sight player. I am up against a Future Sight player. And did I manage to dodge the Zephyr? Well, the Zephyr goes on to Zyra, which is kind of an interesting target. I don't know if that's who this person intended or what. I actually don't think Zyra is that key to my team composition. She's nice to have and all. Like, she does apply the Whispers and all that, but she's definitely not as important as Seraphine or Graves. So Graves has the Death's Dance item. That's one of the items that comes out of Ornn. And oh, look at this fight between him and Yone. It's super close, but he actually kills the Yone. And now it's like, oh, okay. All right, maybe the Yone's not invincible after all. Maybe 2-star Graves is actually about as good as 3-star Yone. Or at least a Graves with a whole team backing him up and with this itemization. So someone has finally now interrupted that long win streak. So starting to look up. Definitely starting to look up here. Now, there's another chalice on this carousel. I would dearly like to get this chalice. Unfortunately, it is on the opposite side of the carousel. So I was like, can I get this? No. And I just barely come up short. So I was like, well, all right. Well, I guess we'll take Archangel Staff out of this. It's a pretty good item on Seraphine. Unfortunately, look what happens on the interface. Someone else hits 3-star Seraphine. The other person who's playing it. So I was like, well, it's not great, but, I mean, can't really do anything about them hitting the Seraphine. I did put that one Seraphine back in the pool. And they have a Spear of Shojin. Now, here's the problem with their board. They have 5 Guardians, but they don't really have any damage on their board. So I was like, I might be able to beat that person because they don't have any Graves on their team. I don't know why they're not playing Graves. They're playing 5 Guardians. Maybe if they were playing 4 Guardians and a Graves instead, but I'm certainly not complaining. Just feels like it's kind of a fundamental flaw in their build. Anyway, instead, I'm going to be up against the Darkflight Assassin board. They're getting close to 3-star Rengar. And if you take a look at this fight, look at what happens to Graves. He dashes right into the middle of the enemy team. That is not where I want Graves to be. I really want Graves kind of lurking around the outside edge of these fights. So he's going to hang in there. Can he kill the Swain? He does kill the Swain. But still, it's not really where I want Graves to be in these fights. I kind of want him more on the outside edges where he's not taking that much aggression from the enemy team. Still, Graves is awfully strong. Can he kill this whole team? He's also got the Rakan who's getting also some taunts. And yes, actually are going to be able to win this fight. So it's like, yeah, wow, geez, Graves. That is a strong unit there. There's also even another Graves in the store. So I was like, all right, I might as well pick up Graves. I mean, I don't think I'm going to 3-star him, but I might as well. It's not going to cost me anything. I also have this Hand of Justice I can potentially make. I had a leftover tier, and then I got a glove from the Lagoon Orb, 80 stacks. At 80 stacks of the Lagoon Orb, you get an item component. I was like, all right, well, you know, this is probably a Hand of Justice, but let's go ahead and wait and see what it can turn into. There's a minion round coming up next, and I want to see what that could potentially be. Also, note what Rakan has rolled on his Thieves Club. He rolled double Locket, and I'm not actually getting full value from that, but I will take advantage of it. I will get the additional shield here, so that's not bad. We're also up against the Mirror Match Seraphine player here. As I said, they have 3-star Zeri and they have 3-star Seraphine. They also have a Spear of Shojin on their Seraphine so that she will cast more often. But they are kind of lacking in damage on this. Now, is it going to be enough to win the fight? That's unclear, but that board is lacking in damage. It's mostly relying on the Electro Charge for damage. I'm like, Graves, do you want to maybe hit the Seraphine and not spend the whole fight shooting at the tanks? Come on, Graves, maybe? Can you go after the carries on the enemy team? Oh, he's going to pop the Seraphine. Now we're down to just the Zeri. And well, looks like we win that fight as well. Seraphine actually got insane value from her Archangel Staff. She was up to, I think, like 140 stacks, 140 AP by the end of it. Just nuts. Well, as I said, this whole comp is basically about getting Graves to pop off, and you've really seen that in these last couple fights. He has been helped here by having insanely good itemization. The Titans allows him to scale up over fights. It makes him tankier and increases his damage. He has a Hand of Justice, which is going to give him some healing in the fights. He absolutely needs healing. Also gives him some crit chance, which is nice. And the last item, the Death's Dance, that gives him some additional healing. Gives him even more healing, Omnivamp. And the other big thing is it has that delayed damage passive. Any damage that you take is instead applied over the course of 4 seconds. So it means that Graves can't really be burst down in these fights, which is quite nice. Now, I had a Bloodthirster there. I didn't really have any use for the Bloodthirster, so I go ahead and reforge it. And I was like, oh, cool. Spear of Shojin? All right, well, that's a great Seraphine item. Now we actually have outstanding itemization on Seraphine. This is literally like best... oh, excuse me. Literally like best in slot itemization for Seraphine. So, okay, cool. I'll take that. And now I have just really, really good itemization on both Graves and on Seraphine. I also know I'm going to be up against the Future Sight player, so I'm going to move Graves at the last second to dodge that. And fortunately, I do. Once again, this person goes after the Seraphine. Again, I believe that that's the Zyra. Believe that that's the wrong unit. I think that Graves and Seraphine are the 2 units that should be targeted. They are the key units in this team composition, not Zeri. She's nice, but, you know, not that key to the team comp. So it's just a matter of can Graves survive against Yone. Unfortunately, he pulled aggression from Yone earlier in the fight that I wanted, and no, he goes down. And once that happens, we're never killing this unit. I mean, Zyra's going to do her best, but she actually takes out a good chunk of the health bar, but we're never killing this unit once that happens. So, somewhat unfortunate fight RNG. I think we could have won that fight, but it just didn't end up quite happening. Anyway, as far as what I'm doing right now, I'm trying to decide, do I want to roll for Graves 3-star or do I want to go for level 9? And I decide I want to roll for Graves 3-star. I look and I'm already at 6 Graves. I was like, all right, we're definitely going to... And now I'm at 7 Graves. I was like, oh, okay. So, yeah, we're going to go for Graves 3-star. Now, I'm definitely hitting here. But going to level 9 doesn't really do that much for me, so we might as well look to do that, get to level 9, and, or excuse me, not go to level 9. We might as well roll for Graves 3-star, not look to go level 9. There's very little that we get by going to level 9, and we already have 7 Graves already, so if we can just get a little bit luckier, I've got the chance to potentially make this unit. All right, now here's a fight where Graves just goes not where I want him to. He runs right to the middle of the enemy team, pulls aggression from every enemy unit, and then he just gets burst down. That's also because this board has spiked a lot since the last couple times I hit them. They have the 2-star Swain, they have 3-star Rengar. That board has gotten very, very strong. On the plus side, though, it looks like my mirror match Seraphine player is going to get knocked out here by the Yone player. So that's actually great news. All those Seraphines are going to go back into the pool. So now I actually do have realistic odds to 3-star Seraphine. But we're going to roll it down. We're looking for Graves and Seraphine. I'm going to pick up these Neelas because it helps increase the odds. Trying to pick up some of the 4 costs here just so I can slightly increase my odds of finding these units. And I don't actually want to make Neela 2-star. That's not what I'm looking for. There's Seraphine, so there's 6 of them. There's another Graves. Okay, there's another Seraphine. We got to pick that up. And can I find the last Graves? Can I find the last Graves? I'm 1 off. Come on, game. And oh, there it is. There it is. 3-star Graves. Oh my goodness. We actually hit the 3-star Graves. Oh, wow. Okay. And the Yone player is even going to type nice in the chat. So, yeah, I mean, is this lucky? Of course. Absolutely, it's lucky. I had very good luck at finding this unit. But to be fair, there are a lot of 4 costs out of the pool. Not like a tremendous amount, but there are quite a few of them out of the pool. And, it's not just dumb luck either. I did make the call that I would look for the 3-star Graves. If I had been sitting on 3 Graves, then I would not have done that. It's only because I was already, I think I was already on like 5 or 6 Graves. That made it worthwhile to try to look for the units. Again, considering that there are a decent number of 4 costs out of the pool. But still, very lucky. Very, very lucky to find this unit. All right. I'm actually still first pick on the carousel due to being low health. And I definitely want to get this Zephyr. Come on. Ah, there we go. Whew. Definitely want to get that Zephyr. I do not want to be dodging Zephyrs on my Graves. That is actually the most important unit that these other players could get. Is they should want the Zephyr to try to take Graves out of the fight because that's probably their best odds to win. Now that said, one of these 2 players does have Future Sight. So remember, by them having Future Sight, it does mean that one of them will know when they're up against me each round. So that means they have a Zephyr. And I'm going to have to try to dodge Zephyrs from that player for each round. Anyway, I'm looking for 3-star Seraphine. I don't find it. So now I'm up against the Darkflight player again. So what do I want to do? I want to make sure Graves, as I said before, is kind of lurking on the edges of the fight. I don't want him to be in the middle of the board. I also do get this Zephyr to drop in. So let me see if I can hit anyone with it. I was trying to see if I could hit the Rengar, but no, I'm actually not positioned to hit the Rengar. I'm also not positioned to hit the Neela. So I'm going to drop it on the Bard, but that's kind of a wasted Zephyr. That doesn't really do anything. Still, the key thing is where Graves is positioned. Graves is lurking on the edges of the fight. Note that unlike the last time we hit this player, Graves is not dead center of the enemy team. He is kind of on the side. Now, granted, he's also a 3-star unit, and that does make a difference. But still, I think the positioning was better, too. I wanted him off on the left-hand side, so he did not take aggression from that many enemy units. And so, yeah, we're going to win and do some damage to this board. And, yeah, we're kind of making progress here. I'm hoping that I can win all these rounds. Now I just have to dodge the Zephyr. The other thing that's dangerous about this player, the Yone player, is, they've got the Zephyr, but they also have a Yasuo as well. And so that also introduces a degree of danger. If Yasuo is the only unit left and he gets off that 3rd cast, he can kill Graves. So, there's 2 ways this person can beat me is they can get off they can Zephyr Graves so he doesn't start ramping up in the fight, and they can also get I can also get Yasuo as well. Anyway, I'm going to try to position to Zephyr their Yone. I don't end up hitting their Yone, but the good news is I managed to dodge the Zephyr as well. Seraphine gets hit, which is not ideal, but important thing is that Graves does not get hit. So, Graves, stay alive in there, buddy. At least he got up to the 25 Titan stacks very quickly in this fight. Also, a great Bard ult. Locks up most of the enemy team. And come on, kill the Yasuo. All right, he killed the Yasuo. He's definitely going to win the one-on-one against Yone. I mean, Yone 3-star is strong, but, I mean, it's a 4-cost 3-star against a 2-cost 3-star. Graves is going to win that fight. It's not particularly close. And now we're looking at the mirror match here, and it looks like the Darkflight player just barely wins. Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate. I would like to have seen the other player, that player lose. They'd probably be knocked out with a loss, but anyway. All right, well, we are getting down to the nitty-gritty here. 3 of us going to stage 7. I cannot afford to lose any more rounds. One more loss on stage 7 probably knocks me out of the game. So even with 3-star Graves, I have not locked this up completely yet. Even though I'm a pretty heavy favorite, but I can still lose this. Like I said, if I get Yasuo, if I get Zephyr, if Rengar just happens to hit Graves and burst him down. Thankfully, Death Stance is really good at preventing him from getting bursted down, but it is always a possibility. All right, well, I have to go ahead and grab these orbs. I think I had stepped away for a second. By the way, look what's going to pop out of this orb. I actually get a Seraphine out of the orb, and then there's another one in the shop too. So I was like, oh, okay. I mean, that's pretty good. I'll take 3-star Seraphine. So now my comp is like the super maxed out version of this board. This is literally everything that you'd want for it. And the Yone player is actually really annoyed. While this board is a third, geez, that high roll board with best augments. I mean, is this a high roll? Yes. Yes, it is. However, keep in mind the early portion of the game. I was not high rolling in the early portions of this game at all. I actually have a ghost round here, so even if I win, I don't necessarily knock out this player. I wanted to get the Zephyr on Rengar, but I didn't have time to position there, so I go for the Swain instead as the second most important unit in the team composition. Seraphine is staying alive now. Seraphine's really strong as well. We still have the Graves dashing around, just absolutely blowing people up. Graves does so much damage, it's ridiculous. Well, Neela's actually going insane in this fight as well, but Neela's not going to kill Graves. Come on. So Graves does 13,000 damage and wins this fight. You know, we had one double-up game that we played that I put on YouTube, and by the way, look at this, is a really close fight as well, but I think Rengar wins this one. I don't think Zach can get it. Yeah, oh, that person is not happy. They just typed G. That Yone player was not happy to get a third from that. There was a double-up game that we played a little while back where one of the people had a 3-star Graves, and that unit was just so unbelievably strong. I think that out of all of the 4-cost units, at least the 4-cost non-dragons, this might be the strongest one as a 3-star unit. It's just so hard to kill this unit if it has proper itemization. Anyway, I want to try to hit the Rengar, so what am I going to do? I'm going to stay bunched up in the corner, which is the way to play against assassins. I'm going to reverse the formation so that the Zephyr can target the Rengar. Did this person bother to move their Rengar? No, they did not. And I'm even going to get this Trap Claw off to protect Seraphine from one spell, or Zyra from one spell cast. And yeah, I'm pretty confident that I'm going to win at this point in time. Another great Bard ult. I feel like my team's been getting stronger in each fight where a number of these other teams have kind of gotten capped out. Yeah, Graves just absolutely blows up everything. And that's going to do it. It's going to be a first. And so I'm going to take for another first with this Seraphine team comp. But kind of a very different game than the other one that I played and put up on YouTube. As I said, really the focus not on Seraphine in this game. I mean, I did 3-star her eventually at the very end of the game, but the focus was on Graves, honestly. As I said, this is I said this probably 5 times in the video, but it's worth repeating. It's really a Graves comp. You play all of the utility units so that Graves can pop off. And if he gets 3-starred, then he pops off super duper hard. My only regret in this game is I was never able to get a Zeke's, because if I could have gotten like a Zeke's or two, then it would have been even more ridiculous. I mean, like the Chalice is nice, but Graves wants Zeke's, not Chalice. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys still enjoyed this video. Until next time, hope you're having a great week. Take care, folks.